Housing market seems to be cooling off and stabilizing. Today, I wanted to make a quick update to the housing market and commercial real estate in Southwest Florida housing market. I know we discussed the Florida market a lot as some sort of a benchmark since this has been one of the hottest markets during the post-COVID craze. So let's jump right into this. When it comes to real estate data, everyone is solely focusing on mortgage applications and cites MBA or general mortgage data, which is still good data, but it doesn't paint the full picture. So I will segment this video into two sections: buyer/demand metrics and property/asset metrics. We will also focus solely on the Southwest Florida market, mostly Fort Myers and Cape Coral. Buyers are facing an affordability issue right now. Rising interest rates needs to be accompanied by serious decrease in median house prices to offset the effect of higher monthly payments. So far, the week of August 11th, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate increased to 5.2%, a steep spike from the previous week's 4.9%. So interest rates are high and lowering it is nowhere in sight due to the fact that it's Fed's only weapon to fight inflation. So despite a lot of hot takes on TikTok and social media from these desperate mortgage brokers and realtors, this is the new reality, at least until 2023. But unlike other markets, Southwest Florida has been keeping most of its core characteristics and still seeing year-over-year increase in price. But let's discuss the data. Looking at the June year-over-year data, we see that the median single-family house price for Southwest Florida increased from $363,000 to $450,000, which is a 24% year-over-year increase. Looking at the average prices, it went from $493,156 to $593,094. which is a 20% increase year over year. And just a sidebar, averages, as we all know it, is the sum of all sale prices divided by total closed sales, while median price is the price that is physically located in the middle of the data set. So if you sort your data set from your lowest value to highest value, the number that is physically in the middle is the median price. For condos and townhouses, median price increased from $255,400 to $351,050, which is a 27% year-over-year increase. And average prices of condo and townhouses increased from $334,576 to $456,204, which is a 36% year-over-year increase. So we can see that the prices are still high relative to last year, since the summer of 2021 boom caused the prices to go crazy. But is it because the properties are still being sold at a higher price, or is there something else going on? Looking at the active listings, closed monthly sales and closed year-to-date sales, means sum of all sales up to June, we see a different trend. For single-family homes in Lee County, we see increased listings and decreased monthly and year-to-date listings. We can see the same trends with condos and townhouses as well. So it's an overall trend across different asset classes. What does that mean? It means that there are more houses in the market and less closed sales for June 2022 compared to June 2021. Looking at the showing numbers, we can also see the total showings for Lee County across the board went from 29,200 showings in June 2021 to 20,769 showings in June 2022, which is a 29% decrease in showing. A question that you might ask is, why the prices went up year over year if there's such a steep decline in interest from buyers? Is there something fishy going on? Well, kind of. There are three major reasons why the prices are the way they are. Number one is that it takes more time for real estate prices to reflect and align with overall market sentiment and demand shifts. Realtors are not experts in pricing. They just run a simple CMA based on comparable properties sold in the area and list properties accordingly. So if you have a situation, which we have here, where you have properties in the market for 50 plus days and closed sales are down dramatically in some neighborhoods. For example, a lot of gated neighborhoods in the Fort Myers area, if you run a CMA, it will show the data for properties sold in 20 or 30 days prior. So there's always a delay in price adjustments. Number two is selling agents. I know there's no love lost between me and realtors, but selling agents still list the properties very high to see how the market feels and if there's any offer that's around the listing price. So basically these listing prices become quote unquote soft prices, and buyers will have invisible and intangible tools to leverage, like seller concessions, lower offers, seller financing, and so on. But when it comes to macroeconomic data, it keeps the prices high, so it gives you a skewed view of how the housing market is doing. Number three is Southwest Florida is still in high demand for housing and had the highest increase in population growth and demand for housing in 2020 and 2021. So it is at the extreme end of the housing demand. And even though demand nationwide and in Southwest Florida right now is lower, it's not enough to warrant prices to take a nosedive as we have seen in some other markets. Before I move on to general sentiment, I think it's a good time to talk about data analytics and dangers of studying aggregate data only. There are mostly measures of central tendency like averages and median numbers. They don't tell us the full story. We need to also perform trend analysis or at least study the trends of housing prices and closed sales to see how they have been behaving and use that to make meaningful forecasts. So what we just reviewed is a good overview of the market, but not necessarily the insightful analytics we need. So keep that in mind as we discuss these data points and know that there are more contextual data and statistical analysis we can do to gather further insight. If you're interested in that, comment down below and we'll do one. In the last video, we discussed why the market is the way it is. Now, when it comes to the overall sentiment and opinion of the market, buyers have more leverage than before. Sellers are facing larger days on the market and less interest overall. We know that rising mortgage interest rates is the main culprit for that. And that's a good thing because it finally woke up the home buyers from recklessly spending too much money on really subpar and bad properties in the area and is shifting accountability to sellers. Is the market buyer friendly or is it a buyer's market? Probably not. As a buyer, you might have some more leverage than before and less competition to purchase a house and may have a seller who's going to work with you more. But when it comes to prices, realtors and sellers have gotten too vicious, so it's still hard to score a really good deal as a buyer. But I will say this, looking is always free. You can always ask your realtor to send you good listings or check Zillow to see if there is any house that you like in the area. And always remember, markets shift, they go up and down. But if you are already in need of purchasing a home and you want to do so and found a deal that works really well for you and your family and is financially feasible, do it. On the investment side for individual investors, there's not much. So most local investors still focus on very fast turnaround on fix and flips, house hacking, and wholesale. I personally believe purchasing and renting multifamily in the area is still the best option, but the issue is lack of inventory. I see multifamily and condo projects that are being built on a build-to-rent basis for usually private real estate companies or private equity firms. So if you're an individual or a new investor, just focus on raising capital and finding a good deal. But be aware that we're finding ourselves in the middle of trends of prices going down. So if you're banking on appreciation in the next 6 to 12 months, it might be hard. But if you don't really care or have a lot of stock on value, at least until 2024, and are looking for cash flow or we call real estate as a business, which is strictly purchasing a property to gain positive cash flow from it, go for it. Thank you so much for watching again. It's been a lot of fun. Comment down below if you want me to do more of these updates for Southwest Florida. So for this video, we mostly focused on year to date for June. By the time I'm finishing up this video, I realize it's almost end of August. So for July data, I made a PDF. So I'll post it down below in the link. So if you want to see the updated data for the month of July as well, it's down there. Whenever the August data comes down, I'll update them again. If you're interested in more of a general market data and market update about what happened to the housing market, why was it such a boom, you can watch this video here. It's really good. We discuss some economic factors and also housing market specific. The other one is more of a Raven rant about the inflation. It's a two-part series. You can watch part 1 here, discusses inflation, monetary policies, recession fears, and also the second video right here discusses housing market. Why do I prefer a buyer's market and why that's the ideal market that should exist. Sometimes it doesn't, but ideally it should. And as always, love you all, wish you prosperity, and until next time, keep learning.